What up, peeps? Welcome back to another video. Today's video we are of course using ChatGPT, like I said in last week's video. So what am I doing? Well, I'm gonna take a car and then I'm gonna write a prompt within ChatGPT, and then it's gonna write a script for me, and I'm gonna read it out as if doing an actual review of mine. Now, when I do type it in, it'll be what ChatGPT thinks is correct, and I won't have any opinion on it. I'm going to read word for word, and then at the end, I'll give you the verdict of what I think of it, and if there's anything to add, or just anything, then I'll give you a small breakdown of the car that we are doing. Now, what car are we doing, you may ask? Well, good news!
Great news! What? Oh, good news! What? Good news!
It's the Dacia Sandero. That's right. The Mark II version, because that's obviously the most memeful of James May. Now, the thing with ChatGPT is that if you have the free basic version where you just create an account, it knows stuff from 2021 September all the way to before. It doesn't know 2022 and 23, but luckily the Mark II ended in like 2020, so it should know what it's doing. Now, before we do start, make sure to subscribe, like, comment and share. I'm becoming my reaction channel now, that's all I ever say. And every day on the YouTube community section, I post a poll and I say which car is best. Like, for example, this is filmed on a Sunday, and today, Sunday, I did a poll on which 200 horsepower Fiesta ST is best. The ST200, the Mark 7 version, or just the standard Mark 8 ST. Both have 200 horsepower. And so people just vote, and then I've got a whole bunch of cars planned for, days to come. Every single day there'll be a car. There'll be cars to vote for. So don't forget to do that, because I don't get many votes. Average 1, 2, 3 votes if I'm lucky. But anyway, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm gonna write the review. I'm gonna write what I want ChatGPT to say. So I'm gonna write it, and then I'm gonna tell you what it says, and then obviously it'll be at the side for you. So you just enjoy this speeded up section. Okay, so it took me a while to write it, but here we go. So the prompt is: write a review of the Generation 2 Dacia Sandero from 2013 to 2020, I believe those are the years. Include an introduction of the car, the exterior looks, the interior looks, the range of engines and gearboxes with 0 to 60 times and top speeds. Talk about the boot space and how big it is, and the space for passengers in the rear seats. Then talk about the handling and ride comfort, and do a verdict at the end, including pros and cons. So pretty much the same as mine, except no anything else section, because I don't think I'll be able to figure that out. So it goes as follows. The Generation 2 Dacia Sandero, produced from 2013 to 2020, made a name for itself as an affordable and practical compact car. Let's dive into a comprehensive review of this budget-friendly vehicle. Introduction. The Dacia Sandero has always been known for its simplicity and value for money. In its second generation, it continued to offer an attractive price point and some improvements in design and features. The exterior looks. The Generation 2 Sandero featured a more modern and appealing design compared to its predecessor. It had a sleeker front fascia with a prominent grille and updated headlight design. The overall look was inoffensive, if somewhat unremarkable. Interior looks. While the interior received some updates, it still maintained a no-frills approach. Hard plastics were predominant, but it was functional and straightforward. The seats were comfortable for short and medium journeys, and the dashboard layout was intuitive. Range of engines and gearboxes. The Sandero came with a variety of engines and gearboxes to suit different needs. The range included petrol and diesel engines, typically with power outputs ranging from 75 to 90 horsepower. Transmission options included manual and automatic gearboxes. 0 to 60 times were generally in the 10 to 13 second range, and top speeds were around 100 to 120 miles an hour depending on the engine. Boot space and rear passenger room. One of the standout features of the Sandero was its generous boot space. With approximately 320 litres of capacity, it offered ample room for luggage and groceries. The rear passenger area was adequate for the class, providing enough space for 2 adults, although legroom could be tight for taller passengers. Handling and ride comfort. The Sandero's handling was decent for city driving, with light steering and good visibility. However, it wasn't particularly engaging on twisty roads. Ride comfort was adequate, although it could feel a bit harsh on rough surfaces due to a budget-oriented suspension setup. Verdict. The Generation 2 Dacia Sandero was a budget-friendly choice for those seeking a no-nonsense compact car. Its pros included affordability, a spacious boot, and a simple, reliable design. However, it fell short in terms of interior quality and driving dynamics, which left it feeling a bit utilitarian overall. If you prioritized value for money and practicality over premium features, the Sandero was a sensible option. It says the pros are affordable pricing, spacious boot for a compact car, straightforward and easy to use design, varied engines and gearbox options. However, the cons are interior quality and materials were subpar, lackluster driving dynamics, limited rear legroom for taller passengers, and limited standard features and options. And so that is what ChatGPT thinks a review should look like of the second generation Dacia Sandero. So what are my thoughts? Well, it's actually quite decent. It was vague a bit, like it said that top speeds varied from here to there. It didn't give exacts for the engines. Wasn't too bad for a prompt and what you get as a result. It did use my word subpar, which I should copyright. What else is there? I can't think much of anything else. I'm just going to give what I think of the review. So the exterior, I agree, it's definitely sleeker than its previous predecessor. Yes, it's a cheap car, very cheap, but it's not too bad. You know, for a cheap car, it doesn't really matter. Interior, cheap, you expect plastics. I mean, hard plastics are not good, but it's cheap, so I don't really expect anything less from that. Engines, I know there was a 1 litre 0.9 turbo and a 1.5 litre diesel. I think that's what's that, and then there's also automatics and manuals. Practicality, I actually don't know the size of the boot. I didn't look that up before, so my bad. I did look up the headroom and legroom, and people said it was actually decent enough for, you know, the shorter journeys, but, you know, taller people would sort of struggle. I don't think it mentioned headroom, I can't remember, but it wasn't too bad for the class of car it's in. And then the handling, well, a lot of people said that, you know, it was comfortable, which is good for a family car. They said that, you know, the steering was a bit vague, but to be honest, I don't expect anything less from that. For it to be handling like a Ford Fiesta would be a shock. It doesn't, but it doesn't, you know, handle badly. It does grip, and there is somewhat of feel from the suspension. And I haven't actually seen a review saying that it could be a bit harsh due to the limited pricing of the setup of the suspension. And something it didn't note was that the basic version of the Sandero, the pre-facelift anyway, it came in white. It had no coloured bumpers, they were black on the front and back, steel wheels, no radio, no air conditioning. I don't think it had central locking, I think it just had a key. Yeah, it just came in white, no sunroof or anything. Yeah, that costed, I think it was $6,000. So that was the basics of Sanderos. It didn't mention that, but I didn't really prompt it to say it. But, you know, it wasn't too bad. but it was still kind of vague in places and a bit limited in information. But yeah, that does conclude the review of the ChatGPT reviews the Dacia Sandero. But anyway, I'll see you guys in next week's video, which could possibly be a normal review again, just like the Volkswagen Golf in last week's video. Or that way. Peace, and don't forget YouTube community with the posts and the cars, etc, etc, and Discord is in the description and it is also in that pinned comment. Peace out properly this time.